Bolo and Hanna bring up something very, very important, you know. She bring up something very, very important. You understand? And so I'm gonna start it off. Before we go to Hanna, this kind of tie into the similar issues when it come out to food security. So check this out.
And welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to viewers on OneSpotMedia.com as well as TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
We begin with a startling revelation this evening about the frequency of pesticide residues in our local produce that could be causing serious health and environmental issues.
In a landmark webinar today, the Jamaica Organic Agricultural Movement outlined how the overuse of pesticides in Jamaica could be causing more harm than good.
As Kelisha Williams reports, experts believe it underscores the need for stronger agricultural policies in Jamaica.
First entomologist at the University of the West Indies and lead researcher Dr. Dwight Robinson presented the findings of the recent island-wide pesticide study. In providing context, he explained that Jamaica imports up to 2.5 to 3.2 million kilograms of pesticides annually, mostly used in the agricultural sector.
The big problem with that is that a lot of these pesticides are what we refer to as highly hazardous pesticides. In short, we call them HHPs. And while there has been a good move for many years to move us away from highly hazardous pesticides, the move has been a little bit too slow.
Dr. Robinson said those pesticides linger in the environment for a very long time and can cause serious health and environmental issues. As a result, the Jamaica Organic Agricultural Movement, JOM, and several other private and public sector partners have been conducting an island-wide study to find out how pesticide overuse in Jamaica is impacting our food system.
The active ingredients that were looked at, 40 of them were classified as highly hazardous pesticides. And that's the group of pesticides that cause a lot of concern and the type we would rather not see being used in Jamaica.
The big question is how those harmful pesticides are impacting the food we consume daily.
Our study that ran from 2022-23 and continuing into 24-25, 26% of the samples have detectable levels of pesticide residues on them. So you can say we're not improving. That's over 10 years. And instead of having less residues detected, we ended up with more residues detected.
Similar to the 2009 to 2014 study, harmful pesticide residue is frequently found in fruits and vegetables like callaloo, thyme, pak choy, cabbage, and tomatoes.
If you look at it, the ones that have been lightened there are a whole list that it looks too similar to what we were seeing 10 years ago, and it suggests that we are not changing the practice. And these that are highlighted here are highly hazardous pesticides.
In going further, co-owner and
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to screenshot that. I want you guys to screenshot these chemicals. And I want you to do your own research. As a matter of fact, let me I see on the screen it's not as on the screen I see it's not as clear, all of it. So let me just frame it in a one way when I can just screenshot all of those. I'm sure I'm looking at the screen right now. You guys can see all of those. I need you guys to do your own research. Alright? If I bet you that all of these pesticides that are highlighted are banned in most, if not all, European countries. But we in Jamaica, for some reason, is dragging our foot in terms of protecting our citizens. Infrastructure and roads and all of this, they don't mean anything if your population is unhealthy. We cannot enjoy none of it. even if everybody was prosperous. Why would you want to be prosperous and not be able to enjoy your wealth, not be able to enjoy moments with your family, not be able to enjoy moments with your friends and your loved ones, travel the world? Because we have a country that has decided to drag their foot on policies and neglect these types of things. You know how serious Russia is about food and those things over there. There's a lot of things that Russia banning that is used in the Western world, you know. Lots of things. They don't let them citizens eat it. You understand? They're not doing it. So why is our government not protecting us in that regard? These are the things we need to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Please go and do your research about these chemicals. I'm telling you, most of them is not being used in many different European countries, if not all of them. Europe don't play when it comes to food. You understand? Even if they're tricking people and whatever, it is banned there. That is a start. It's actually banned. They cannot carry them into these places because they understand it's going to give people all types of cancers and all them something there. Right? And if you're really going to do your research, you're going to be alarmed. I'm telling you. Please go and do your research, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
Are highly hazardous pesticides.
In going further, co-owner and farmer at Stush in the Bush, Christopher Binns, explained that organic farming is the way to go, which means no pesticide or chemical fertilizers. However,
the policies that we have in this country that allow these chemicals to come in, that actually encourage these chemicals to come in. So if I'm buying a seed, for instance, and let's start with the seed. One of the main issues that we have with going organic in Jamaica is that you cannot buy organic seeds nowhere on that.
Embarrassing!
You can't buy organic seeds? What?
Seed, for instance, and let's start with the seed. One of the main issues that we have with going organic in Jamaica is that you cannot buy organic seeds nowhere on the island of Jamaica.
And oftentimes when organic seeds do come in, Mr. Bin said they are held in quarantine for days and sometimes indefinitely. While he stressed that there is a need to protect the island from seed-based pathogens that may destroy the food environment, he said there must be a balance.
You don't have organic soil enhancers. You don't have organic anything. We don't have an organic sector that is codified into our policies so that farmers that claim to be organic or growing organic have a set of guidelines that guide them to getting to becoming organic.
In America, when you go into supermarkets over there, you guys see the different codings in terms of colors. I believe that's what he's talking about. And it's kind of deeper than just the colors in the market. That's like the final product. But there is a place for those things, for those organic foods and the level at which they're at. You understand? Because, you know, there's different types of food choices. You have vegan, you have people that are vegetarian and so forth. There's different, what do you call it, descriptions of what people eat and how they eat and whatever, what they choose to eat. The point of the matter is there is a market for all of that, and there's people that actually, there's policies in place for them to produce those things. But here in Jamaica, this seems to be not regulated, and there's no focus on organic food. The man said you cannot get organic seeds nowhere or organic nothing nowhere. That's crazy. Jamaica should be the most organic country in the world. Listen, we have Singapore that everybody is like, Singapore took their blueprint from Jamaica. I know Singapore is the lead organic exporter of food in the world, and I'm here saying, why is Jamaica not the lead organic exporter of food in the world? Singapore is the side of St. Thomas. We have so much arable lands that we can use to actually do farming, and it's the audacity of the Prime Minister to be at the agricultural poultry farm thing, talking about we need to focus more on agriculture, when the reality is for 9 years they haven't been doing nothing. They haven't been growing the agricultural sector, and you're telling me now that there's no organic food. Man, what the hell is going on, man?
What can go on?
It's crazy.
What can go
so that farmers that claim to be organic or growing organic have a set of guidelines that guide them to getting to becoming organic.
Which is why he believes there needs to be policy changes to make it easier for farmers to grow organically and get access to the right resources to protect their crops without using harmful pesticides. It is hoped that when the study is completed, the findings will be used to implement those policy changes, among others. Kelisha Williams.
So people, that's the first thing I want to show you, because food security is a hell of a thing, innit? Alright, You know, I'm gonna do it this way. Hanna.
US dollars in chicken neck and back is what we import to Jamaica annually. 13 million US dollars in beef offals. That's like the liver and the kidney. Beef trimmings is 16 million US. And then rice is 84 million US dollars. And so you might be asking, Lisa, why do you import so much US dollars worth of animal and rice? Well, it's simply because Jamaicans cannot afford to buy chicken, beef, or fish to feed their families. So they must resort to the parts of the animals, the cuts and the trimmings.
Embarrassing! Emotional damage!
Now here's a disclaimer. I'm not in the PNP shadow cabinet, so what I'm about to say may not contend with their views. But this is something I've been speaking and writing about for years. In other words, the pot a boil, but the food not enough of the family them were out. And I would like you to think for yourself and re-examine the data of some long-held beliefs of what others have tried to impose on you, saying that it is supposed to be in your best interest. Today I want to highlight one of those beliefs and say why our people as a result remain unhealthy with obesity, high blood pressure and other primary health ailments. It's because they can't afford to buy a balanced food basket. And for the non-vegetarians, this is because the price of chicken meat is out of their reach. I'm not going to any other meats today. You see, for decades, Jamaica has had a 250% duty protection on chicken meat. Globally, in other countries, the average import duty rate on chicken is 24%. So why are we paying 250%, or why is the duty rate 250% in Jamaica?
I gotta stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me draw for my calculator because you see, 24% is the regular rate. 250% is our rate. Alright, 250 divided by 24, well, divided by 100. And that's 2.5. Alright, let's listen. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to go so far. How many times can 24 go into 250? That's all I need to do. That will tell you how much percentage higher it actually is. Divide that by 24. See? You see that? You see how much percentage more that is? 24% is the rate, right? At which the regular countries get it at the duty. 24%. We have it at 250%. It's almost 11 times that 24 can go into 250, which means then that it's 1,000% more, almost 1,100% more, almost 10.5 1,500% more. At this rate, it's 1,400. All right, whatever. I'm just saying, 1,000% more than the regular rate for everybody. Somebody please explain that to me. If what Lisa Hanna is saying is true, this is very alarming, ladies and gentlemen. But you're going to hear why. You're going to hear why this is happening. Listen to this. And we're going to go back to that number. Listen to this.
Is this really in our people's national interest, or are we serving the interest of very few individuals, in particular 2 companies? Now,
2 companies, ladies and gentlemen. 2 companies benefit from this. 2. Not 200,000 Jamaican people, but 2 companies. Whoever owns those 2 companies are the ones that are benefiting from a 1,000% difference. 1,000%. Why? And we wonder why chicken is so high. Chicken prices are so high and it keeps going up. Well, we have found the answer. Let's continue.
Or you all have a knee-jerk reaction and say, but Lisa, it helps protect it because it helps with local production. Let us look at the data rather than emotion. You see, the international cost breakdown to produce a chicken is feed, largely corn. That makes up 61% of a chicken. Baby chicks is 18%. You have to house them, that's 7%. Other inputs are about 10%, and labor is only 4%. We don't make feed in Jamaica. We don't produce corn. We don't produce wheat. We don't produce soya.
So what Lisa Hanna is saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that the feed, or what makes up the feeding for chickens, is the highest cost of growing chickens to feed them. Only 4% of that money deals with labor. So it doesn't take a lot of laboring. So when they tell you that, oh, you know, it's creating jobs, really? Yeah, but it's not substantial. The substantial amount of money is being gained from selling the feeding. We don't produce corn. We don't produce none of those things that is in the feeding for the chickens. So when you have this 200 to 250% on the items that are coming in, you see where we're going with this? You see why this number benefits the two companies? They get the lion's share of the profit, not the people of Jamaica. You understand? Not the regular folks, certainly, but the two companies. Oh, and it gets worse. Let's continue.
Those are the inputs that go into the feed for a chicken. So what we refer to as feed mills in Jamaica are largely big silos and a mixer that blend up everything together, these imported inputs, and that goes into the final product, much in the same way that a mason, you see, mix up concrete, which are sandstone, cement, and water. But at least in concrete, all of those inputs are produced in Jamaica. So the local feed is totally, for chicken, is actually totally imported. So in effect, the local Jamaican direct cost input of chicken is less than 10%. Therefore, I really challenge the logic of providing excessive duty protections to any product with a local input that is less than 10%. I've been saying it for years. All of the inputs in animal feed are traded as commodities in the marketplace globally. And like oil, that price fluctuates in keeping with the laws of supply and demand. I bet you can't tell me how much corn has come down over the last 2 years. The price of corn has fallen from $801 in April 2022 to less than $392.50 today. Check it for yourself on tradingeconomics.com. You see, on straight mathematical terms, with that kind of 50% reduction in the cost of feed, which represents 61% of the cost input of a chicken, our chicken prices should have gone down by at least 30%. But guess what? They went up.
So you see, the 250%, it is monopolizing the price of chicken and keeping it high. That is what she's telling me. Even though corn has gone down and all these inputs that are in the chicken feed, we pay more for chicken because of what is happening with those two companies. Mark Golden, sir, we gotta deal with this, sir. This has to be dealt with. I'm sorry.
So who's really benefiting? Certainly not the Jamaican people whose citizens find it hard to afford a whole chicken for dinner on a daily basis. Certainly not the workers at the factory whose pay remains much the same, and certainly not the Jamaican economy, as there's been very little growth in the agricultural sector generally for years. Did you know that if you apply for a permit to import a container load of chicken in any form, back parts, breast, wing, thigh, whatever, the Ministry of Agriculture first refers the matter to the two chicken monopoly producers to find out if they have any objections?
Pardon me? Beg your pardon? Wait a minute. What?
What did you say?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
Emotional damage.
What can go so?
So you're telling me that if somebody wants to import a container load of chicken or chicken parts, the two companies that pretty much run the sector has to be asked by the government whether or not that individual or individuals or company is allowed to import the chicken or chicken parts into the country? Bro, what is going on? Are you serious? This cannot be real.
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
You cannot make this up, bro.
Tell them to challenge me on this.
And she said, tell them to challenge her on it. So she knows what she's talking about. Damn.
What do you think will be their response? With that kind of system in place, there's effectively no real competition in the marketplace. As a matter of fact, there's no marketplace. You pay what the two local monopolies decide you should pay.
Wow.
And since it is so obvious, you'll wonder, well, why is this backward policy been allowed to continue for decades?
Yes.
Well, the false fallacy is that we're saving the livelihood of 30,000 small farmers. But is this really true? And maybe after this video, you'll find them finding farmers who said, no, we've benefited, etc. But ask yourself if it is really true. Is it really true? It is the same two producers who sell the baby chicks to small farmers. The same two producers who sell the feed to small farmers.
No. See, context matters. This is where context matters. This is where people being educated about economics matters. This is a bad deal sold to us as a good deal or a great deal, and we're just okay with the scraps of the benefits of the deal. If what she's saying is true, this is where you understanding economics would click in and go, nah, we ain't gonna have that. And we would pressure the government. And I hope this video goes viral. Please, ladies and gentlemen, this video I will upload. I'm recording right now. Please make this video go viral. Like the video, share the video with at least 50 people in your contact that lives in Jamaica. This issue, chicken, is something that we all consume. Well, not all, most of us anyway, majority of the Jamaicans. This is an issue that we should really be like, wait a minute, this needs to change. This monopoly of these two companies, God, nah, there's no competition, there's no marketplace. They can tell us, oh, chicken is this price and it will be that price, and then nobody can carry any chicken to sell chicken. There's no marketplace. What the hell is this? This is some mafia stuff right now. Who is this two company? Who is these two companies? Right? Who allowed them to get away with this all this time? And what could, like, seriously? Come on, man, this is wrong, bro.
So it is in their interest to put the price of chicken as high as it can be, so that they can convince us that they're actually acting in our best interest. So you see, when a mother comes into my constituency office.
So, man, damn. Create the problem and then create the solution. Make profit either way and seem like you're the good guy. These people are wicked.
And says like they do all the time, and especially now with back to school. Why MP, I need help with 50 chicken and some feed to send me to them go back to school. Either the state or me will actually purchase the chickens or the feed. But guess where I'm purchasing it from? The same people. So it's a vicious cycle.
Oh wow, a vicious cycle that never ends.
That's not benefiting our people, and I feel so strongly about it because I'm tired of it.
Listen, Lisa, I just learned about it and I am tired of it. I learned about it today. Yeah, I learned about it 24 hours ago. Last night I was in my bed, scrolling through the internet, came across this video. I was like, yo, I have to do a video on this. I actually did 2 live streams because the live was cutting off because of whatever, but I didn't get to record it, so I'm here recording it now. This is one of the live stream I'm on right now is one of the second live stream that I did regarding this. So if I go back to the front part of it, I was talking about it. So I definitely had to do this, man. This is wild, bro. This is wild.
So here's a suggestion that might actually be in the best interest of Jamaican small farmers. And it's a suggestion. Reduce the duty on chicken to 50%, which would still be twice the international norm, and use the duty collected, because we actually don't collect any duty now.
250 reduced to 50% would carry it down to 125%, which is actually on average at 24. So it's still 5 times the amount that it usually is. You're not losing. Damn.
And use that duty to purchase baby chicks and distribute them free to small farmers. They'll not buy it. Therefore, and you could also eliminate the duty on feed and allow anyone, any little drop mandora, if they need a permit to bring in container loads to bring in chicken. It should not be only the big people who get permits.
Fox.
The result of such a policy or suggestion would not only lower the prices for chicken, but more people would be engaged in raising chickens.
So they could make some money.
Jamaica has one of the highest diabetes rates in the world, and that is directly linked to the fact that they consume so much starch and carbohydrates because they need to feel full. They can't afford to buy protein.
True.
And this is because the average...
Yo, she's talking mad facts. When you look at how food is being, how they share your food, it's a little bit of protein and a lot of starch. People want to feel full, so they eat up the starch, and that's fact. And that sugar thing, man, it's, man, this right here, I'm an advocate for this. I'm going to be shouting this at the top of the roof. This chicken thing, hey, Lisa, I got you. And thank you. Thank you for raising this issue, because I don't care, PNP, JLP, I don't care what y'all talking about. This right here is an issue that needs to be highlighted. The people need to understand what the hell is going on and understand that it's really not in our best interest. Like she said, it really isn't. That's fact.
Average family is not feeding their families properly. So Jamaica has a policy that has kept the price of chicken high, which only benefits 2 chicken producing monopolies. And it puts the nation at a health risk, and then imposes on the general poor public to pay a high price for chicken, thereby having an unhealthy diet. Marcus Garvey said, and his birthday was recent, that chance has never really satisfied the hope of a suffering people. And it's a powerful declaration.
Chance has never satisfied the hope of empowering people. So you can't empower people by chance. It has to be purposeful.
Because it means that to change ourselves positively and indeed the lives of the oppressed, we need to have deliberate purpose of effecting change. Not to tinker along and hope that things will fix themselves. That is a foolhardy approach and quite frankly timid.
Hey, Mark Golding and the PMP. When you go in a power, I want you guys to be bold in affecting change, not timid. Positive change for the people of Jamaica. We are at a place right now in the world where we are so far behind as a country. We need to make sure that we are not timid. With the help of the Most High, I'm telling you, we need to make sure that we are bold, like Ibrahim Traore, bold.
I've bemoaned over the years that it's probably easier to buy a politician than to become one. So no, look, let's make everyone benefit, not only those with deep pockets. And I've been saying this for years. Let us re-examine our policies for Jamaicans to actually be able to afford healthy food, especially protein. It's time that we re-examine the duty protections that we have on chicken meat.
Facts.
$23 million in chicken neck and back is what we import to Jamaica annually.
$23 million in chicken neck and back annually. $13 million on beef. beef trimming 16 million, rice 84 million. Mighty God. Chicken neck, chicken back, beef trimmings, and rice. Add that up. Jesus. Over 125 million dollars. Over 125, $130 million. 30 million. Damn, man. No, ladies and gentlemen, I came across this article. The irony. After, saying I was good. This is what really sparked me to remember that, yo, you know what? I need to check out Lisa Hanna's video and do it. No chicken business. Jamaica poultry sector powers 310 billion economic engine. What is this saying to us, ladies and gentlemen? The chicken business is big business and it's only 2 people benefiting from it. The Jamaica poultry industry is generating far more economic value than previously documented, some 309.6 billion, according to new research commissioned by the Caribbean Poultry Association, CPA, and carried out by EY Services, formerly Ernst and Young. The findings were presented by Christopher Zambrano, managing partner of Caribbean Strategy and Transition at EY Barbados, during a CPA's 8th International Technical Symposium at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. The 2 events held May 13 to May 14 gathered close to 300 regional players under the theme Beyond Farming, the True Impact of Poultry. What the study uncovered was the sector, whose reach extends far beyond feed mills and broiler houses. It touches every aspect of Jamaican economy, from the employment and the utilities to advertising, insurance, and tax revenue. We estimate that the poultry industry supports nearly 392,000 people through direct and indirect induced activity. Zambrana told the audience wages total $62.6 billion, and broader economic linkages took the figure up to 310 billion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you look at that and you say wages up to 310 billion. I want you to think about what the persons are actually making. That actually is the 2 monopolies. If they are paying out $310 billion, can you fathom how much money is going in their pockets? That is the first thing. Now, let us do the math. 392,000 people on estimate, right? $62.6 billion. Let's do the math, shall we? $62.6 billion. One more zero. $62.6 billion divided by $392,000. Wait a minute, go back a little. No, well, 392,000 people. Alright, so on average, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at $159,693 per person, which it wouldn't really go to that, but if that would be the case, then that would be yearly, right? That would be yearly. And if we're going to say that is yearly, and I could be corrected, somebody can correct me, but I'm just doing my estimates here. That's $13,307 a month. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Let me try that again. Yeah, let's look at the history. Nah, hold up. Wait. What? So they like work like sometimes? Is that it? Is that it? It's like they work sometimes? Cause it's right here. Oh, my bad. It's right there. So I divided the money to this. So each person would get 159,000. So they probably work 2-3 days, a week. So that's what we're looking at for the month, on average. Is it possible that people are getting less? Wow. All right. So that's the minimum. That is the minimum. So we're gonna give them that. That's the minimum, right? Let's look at the maximum. $310 billion. That really kind of, $310 billion dollars, right? $310 billion divided by 392,000. Right? So boom, that's what? 790,000. Not even $1 million. Damn, I thought it would reach like $1 million. So that's not even $1 million. That's crazy. So on average for the year, 12 months, you're looking at $65,000 for the month. So between $13,000 and $65,000 a month, people that work in the poultry area can gain. All right, so there you have it. That's not I get it, it's jobs, but people can still get those jobs if they was to unmonopolize the industry. You understand what people are going to want to eat chicken anyway. But the fact that only 2 persons at the top is making the bulk of the money, what about 4,000? What about 4,000 Jamaicans getting a slice of that pie? Well, again, we don't even know what the pie is in terms of the people at the top, right? Because this is just salary. They're just talking about salary here. How much money has the two companies actually made? You understand? All right, so let us say the company made 3 times this amount, or 2.5 times the $310 billion after all expenses paid. Let's say they almost gained $1 trillion. And between the two of them, I'm talking about profit-wise now. Say that they almost gained $1 trillion. $900 billion is the profit. We're gonna use that as an estimate. All right, so 900 billion divided by 4,000 Jamaicans that own a piece of this industry. Spread it across 4,000 Jamaicans. That's $225 million for 4,000 people. So you would have more multi-millionaires in Jamaica earning that type of money. My God, their family, the impact in their family, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I'm with Lisa on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section, man. Dang. Yeah, I'm with Lisa on this one. Those numbers are staggering.